Welcome students. Myself, Miss Vinita Baikar, Assistant Professor in Botany, Government College of Arts, Science, Commerce, Sakrin Go. Program Bachelor of Science, 3rd year, Subject Botany, Semester 6, Course Code BOD 105, Course Title Nursery and Garden. Title of the unit Routine Garden Operations. Module name Watering, Pruning and Staking. Outline Introduction to watering plants. Process and time of watering plants. Watering equipments. Introduction to pruning. Process and time of pruning. Pruning equipments. Introduction to staking. Types of stakes. Learning outcomes. Understand plant watering time and process. List watering equipments. Explain pruning process. List pruning equipments. Explain staking process, citing examples. Watering. Inadequate watering can cause failure to raise potted plants like orchids, anthuriums, ferns, and bromeliads. Overwatering can cause waterlogged condition, thus encouraging the growth of fungi and bacteria in the soil that causes the rotting, especially underground stems such as rhizomes, tubers, bulbs, or fleshy roots. In potted plants, overwatering leads to leaching of nutrients, particularly nitrogen, and the plant shows signs of deficiency symptoms, especially yellowing of foliage and slow growth. How and when to water plants? Potted plants. While watering potted plants, soil should be thoroughly soaked so that every particle is wet. Usually, soil in pots loses moisture much more quickly than those placed outdoors. Indoor, air is dry and the circulation due to fan is smooth, and therefore evaporation is more rapid when compared to outdoors. More water is needed for indoor plants and should be watered at least twice a day. The frequency of watering depends on the pot size, drainage, soil composition, size of the plant, and relative humidity. Bed plants. All the seasonals in the beds and the perennials should be watered regularly either in the morning or evening. Foliage plants such as the caladium, coleus, diffambacia, pothos, peperomia, palms, and ferns need wetting the whole plant by spraying water with a special garden watering can in order to keep them moist, clean, and fresh. Bulbous and tuberous plants do not need water as frequently as seasonals and perennials do. Watering equipments. Static sprinklers. Static sprinklers do not have moving parts and the spray is created by the pressure of water as it is forced through holes in the head. Rotating sprinklers. Rotating sprinklers have several arms that rotate. Pulse jet sprinklers. Pulse jet sprinklers send out pulsating spurts over a circular area. Some of them heads on a tallish spike, which is useful if one wants to place it near plants that would interfere with the jets from a sprinkler placed at ground level. Oscillating sprinklers. Oscillating sprinklers have the spray holes in a tube that turns or revolves. It is normally possible to adjust the spray pattern or area. It is useful for small gardens. Sip hoses and spray hoses. Sip hoses, which release the water slowly directly into the soil, are useful when they can be laid along a row of plants. They can be useful under clutches or beneath a polythene mulch where access for watering can be problem. Watering can. This is best piece of equipment. It is useful when planting and is far more gentle than a hose pipe for watering container. Pruning. The planned removal of branches, twigs, limbs, shoots or roots is termed as pruning. It is major horticultural practice and skill which can be acquired through experience, observation and practice. The great majority of ornamental plants, if allowed to grow under normal conditions, become full-sized trees growing in a haphazard way, occupying a lot of space in the garden. When raised in pots to get the bushy growth at the manageable sizes and in pleasing proportions, one should prune them periodically. One of the main principles of pruning is to reduce the apical dominance. If apical shoot is removed, the lateral branches will start growing. For every woody plants, the terminal bud is pruned to get more auxiliary buds immediately below the cut. Cuts made at axils or nodes heal readily when the new branches develop. Pruning induces lateral branches in them. Every plant does not require extensive pruning, thus, it is essential to know how and when to prune. Time of pruning. A plant may bear flowers on the last season's growth or the current season's growth, and hence the pruning time should be adjusted accordingly. The plants bearing flowers on the last season's growth are generally pruned immediately after flowering, whereas those flowering on the current season's growth are pruned sufficiently ahead of flowering season. Best time to prune evergreen shrubs is in December or early January as the growth is at a minimum. Pruning equipments. Bypass secateurs. These have a sharpened blade that cuts against a square blade. One blade has a convex shape and other concave. Anvil secateurs. These have a blade that cuts against a flat anvil. There are several variations in cutting action. Parrot beak secateurs. These have a scissor-like action, but both blades are convex and usually sharpened. Staking. Ornamental plants, either in pot culture or on the ground, need support at least for a part or throughout their life. Stakes may be of whole bamboo, split bamboo, cane wood, GI wires, or other suitable plastic material. Staking should be firm and care should be taken not to expose the stakes prominently. Staking not only support a newly planted or a weak stem tree but also prevents the plants from rocking about during high winds. To secure the plants strongly, the stakes are to be firmly tied to them with the help of strong threads that can stand long against the weather. First, the tying material such as thread, raffia, etc. is tied with the stake by a knot. This is then pressed over the branch in a loose loop, allowing enough space for the tissues to grow but at same time not too loose to allow the plant to rock about during the winds. The tying should be checked at least once a year to see that it does not obstruct the growth of the stem. Annuals like aster, dianthus, gaillardia, petunia, and phlox, with their thin, erect, herbaceous stems, need light multiple staking with small side sticks or split bamboo all around, especially when raised in pot culture to provide a mass effect. Chrysanthemum, dahlia, gladiolus, and sweet pea require a single staking for each flowering shoot of plant to keep the stem straight, which otherwise tend to bend with weight of the blooming flowers. These are my references. Thank you.